Hello everybody, Radimus2099 here with another video. I am here doing a re-review. Well, I don't know if I ever reviewed him actually, but he is a old figure, a retro review, a retro look back, a re-analysis of Red Tornado, one of Mattel's best figures. Now, if you don't know, Mattel had the DC license for a long time, at least, it's definitely more than 12 years, I think. It was a long line. They had a lot of it, and they made decent figures, and a lot of people do like their figures. I know a lot of people who think that they made some of the best figures. I, of course, became a DC fan a little late, so when I got into Mattel, I really didn't know them as Mattel. I knew them as the only DC figures that were really cheap. So I, of course, got this guy passed down to me from a cousin of mine who collects a lot of action figures. And he kind of started it. And again, in one of my videos where I'm thanking you guys for something, I don't remember what. I don't actually remember. I talk about how this guy really was one of my first 6-inch action figures, how I really didn't like the style until I had him, and this was because he was passed down to me. I had for him a bunch of Star Wars action figures that were, of course, all in the same size, Star Wars was all 3.75 inch, which I do still collect that. I do still have those. I actually still like that line. I still like that, and same with the Marvel ones, but they just aren't making any more of them. The Deadpool, Rainbow Deadpool, is kind of their last hurrah, I feel, for that line, and it sucks to see it go, but now I've collected Marvel Legends and SH Figuarts, and I'm actually really liking it now. But as it is, DC was always one of those kind of figure companies that everyone thinks kind of they don't have the best figures. They kind of lack in a lot of details, and then there's a bunch of the secondhand kind of places, which are Bandai and Mafex, who make great DC figures, but they are at such a high cost that you just can't get all of them. And you probably don't want to get all of them, because then your bank account's going to be lacking. But I loved this figure, and honestly, I think he's one of the best. But I do have a problem with him. Mine's, well, of course, QC issues. There's a couple flecks of yellow that shouldn't be there, but honestly, I can look past that. I was a kid when I got him, so I definitely knew I was throwing him a lot and playing with him. But I do have a problem with this. His ankle was put on incorrectly. I have two left ankles, left foots, left feet. So he was always hard to stand, but I still love him after that. I don't think that there's really anything that could have happened to this figure to make me hate him. And he was really a part of Mattel that kind of ingrained a part of my soul. I remember him so fondly, and I still love him as one of my figures because there is no Red Tornado figure out there better. There has been none. Mafex, Mattel, all of those companies haven't. Well, Mattel, they did. Mafex, SH Figuarts, McFarlane haven't made one yet. He's a very disrespected character for how cool he is. He's a robot who is stronger than Vision, and Vision has a Mind Stone. He can make tornadoes. Do I need to explain more? He could create tornadoes. He's an amazing character. And I don't know why we kind of give him that kind of slack, basically, like, no one really appreciates him. He's a great character, though. But he's one of my favorite DC characters, and I'm glad that I finally have a figure of him. And, I keep him prominently placed on my shelf. But, of course, since his foot is janky, I have to make him fly. And that kind of helps him fit in with 7-inch. I think that now my preference for DC has gone with Don McFarlane. I remember the day that those images were released, and I wasn't collecting DC at that time. I had the Joker, I had a couple other figures that I was starting to get towards DC because I just started doing DC stop motions, so I was really pleased with them. And then when I saw those images, I was just amazed, and I was like, why isn't there, we get Green Lantern, Batman, Superman. Why is there no Red Tornado or Aquaman? I think honestly McFarlane would do a great Aquaman. I mean, imagine if he came with the accessory, something like how Green Lantern came with that giant gun. Imagine him coming with a giant wave, or even a dolphin or a shark. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, Todd McFarlane, he could do a like his old vocal thing, how he could talk to animals, how it would be like a tube that like got a little bigger, like a telescope kind of. Oh man, Todd McFarlane could do so much great with the DC license. Of course, I understand him, his first year of having it, trying to kind of learn what people will buy and what people won't. Hey, do people like different styles? Do people like more comic book accurate styles, but more movie styles, more. So of course, testing it out with Batman works really well because people know Batman's a good character and people will always buy him. But I can't wait for him to do more characters, more everything. I mean, honestly, I just want a high quality Riddler figure from him, and I'll be pleased. Honestly, he's gonna take the license in a place that you'll never see it go again, which is gonna be phenomenal. I mean, honestly, with most of the way that DC has been, because Marvel Legends was always kind of consistently good because they had they had good producers, Hasbro and Toy Biz. But now that we have McFarlane, who's honestly one of my favorite toy producers out there, yeah, they're gonna do good. But Red Tornado, I think, really stands out as one of Mattel's best work. Fun articulation, looking nice. I mean, he looks really good. I know there's parts that I can complain about. The sculpt is totally broken there. You turn his leg any which way to balance him, his sculpt is broken. But I'm not achieving a perfect figure with this. I want a good, and I mean good, Red Tornado figure. I don't want perfect. If I want a perfect, I would make one. Because, in my eyes, I could make one. But again, I'm always kind of hard on my customs. I think my Grim Knight is one of my worst customs ever. Even though I realize it's kind of some of my best work. But you know what? I won't complain. Anyway, I think that this was a figure that really stood out to me as being the start of my love for DC figures. And yeah, I'm hoping that you're enjoying these re-reviews. I can't do these with Marvel. Because, I mean, honestly, I have too much Marvel as it is to be like, oh, I started with this figure. I kind of remember the 3 that I started with, but I can't put them in an order specific. But I'm hoping to do more of these. I'm hoping that you're liking sort of the shift of DC content. Again, if you're new to my channel, I do 50% Marvel, 40% DC, 10%, it's more like 40% Marvel, 30% DC, 20%, kind of like 10% Star Wars, 10% Transformers, and then there's a little gray area of other things that I like to buy. And I honestly love to just collect things that make me happy. And yeah, Marvel and DC make me happy. So I don't have the best collection, but I'm working on it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video where I eat 3 jars of olives and then try to sing the ABCs. Hopefully I don't die. Alright, goodbye.